Hello, welcome to Thor Talk, the show all about Marvel's resident god of thunder. On this episode of Thor Talk, we're going to be looking at the power of Odin, the All-Father. Odin Borson stands as the most powerful of the Asgardian gods, so let's see what Thor's father can do on Thor Talk.
I am Thor the Thunderer, son of Odin, prince of Asgard, and this world is under my protection.
Thor may be one of the most powerful superheroes of all time, but there's a reason why Odin is king of Asgard. He's the most powerful of the Norse gods, and stands as a true powerhouse. The story of how Odin became so powerful begins with Odin journeying to Muspelheim with his brothers Vili and Ve. Together they fought Surtur and stole the Eternal Flame, but Surtur pursued them as they tried to escape. Vili and Ve sacrificed themselves to allow Odin to escape, and upon their deaths, their power was given to Odin, amplifying Odin's own power. As a result, Odin has enough power to overthrow a universe, and has had many impressive displays of might over the years, like killing Hela, the goddess of death. In Thor number 190, Hela came to claim Thor's life. At first, Thor attempted to evade her, but eventually he realizes that it's useless to resist. As Thor prepares to meet his demise, the city begins to bend and twist, as Odin has arrived. Odin tells Hela to stand down, but she refuses, so Odin instantly kills her with one blast from his scepter. When Thor realizes what will happen to the earth if there is no death, he begs Odin to restore Hela. Odin complies, and instantly brings her back to life just as easily as he killed her. Odin also has been able to summon shards of planets from the end of infinity in a split second. When Surtur and Skog were about to attack the Earth, Odin froze time itself and transported the Earth's entire population to another dimension. Odin can transport himself and others almost anywhere, but he's so fast that he almost doesn't need to. While he was fighting Jane Thor, he covered 400 million miles in the span of 2 punches. If we say that those 2 punches took about 10 seconds, then Odin was going 144 billion miles per hour. That's more than 214 times the speed of light. Impressive, but not as impressive as when Odin challenged Forsung the Enchanter to a contest of power. Both Odin and Forsung took hold of Odin's scepter and began to battle for control. They took off as a ball of fire that streaked across the universe, shattering planets like anthills and creating new suns with their galaxy-wide energy. Odin returned victorious, having fought their battle from one end of the universe to the other. The universe is estimated to be 93 billion light-years in diameter. Of course, the Marvel universe is probably bigger, but for simplicity's sake, let's just use the measurements for our universe. We aren't given an exact time frame for how long the battle took, but we know that Odin speaks to Thor not long after the battle. By the time he speaks to Thor, Thor has had time to defeat the powerless enchanters and return to Donald Blake's office to wait for Odin's battle to end. Let's lowball it and say that it took 5 hours. If Odin was going in a straight line from one end of the universe to the other, then he was going 109 sextillion miles per hour. That's over 163 trillion times the speed of light. Even if Odin took a week to cover this distance, which he most likely didn't, he would still be going 4.85 trillion times the speed of light. Another example of Odin's power was during his fight with Galactus, where Odin displays his mastery of telepathy. Galactus is one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe, and his telepathic defenses are some of the strongest. His natural mental defenses are too much for Professor X and Magneto's combined efforts to even make contact with Galactus. Odin did more than make contact with Galactus. He made him believe that he was living his former life as the mortal Galen. Galactus is the sole survivor of an earlier universe, but before his universe was destroyed, he was Galen from the planet Ta. He has not been Galen for billions and billions of years, but Odin made him believe that he was still Galen and that his universe was not yet destroyed. Eventually, Galactus realizes what is going on, and he uses the same trick on Odin, making him believe that he is his younger self. Odin then recovers and makes Galactus believe that he is Galen again. Galactus recovers and again makes Odin believe that he is his younger self. Odin becomes tired of this back and forth, so he knocks out Galactus with one mighty headbutt. Knocking out Galactus is extremely impressive. Galactus normally can't even feel the combined attacks of the Earth's heroes. If Galactus were to enter a black hole, then the black hole would be destroyed and Galactus would be just fine. While Galactus was weakened, he remained conscious after being in the center of two planets colliding with each other. Galactus was also recently fed during his fight with Odin, as he is seen feeding on a planet at the beginning of the story. Odin was also knocked out from the headbutt, and Galactus eventually recovered, but it was only after he had fallen down to Earth, and Odin technically recovered first. Odin also defeated a cosmic god storm the size of a galaxy that had destroyed several planets, stars, and moons. One of Odin's greatest displays of power was during his battle with Seth on Asgard. Their battle was so great that it could be seen from Earth, and it was even tearing at the fabric of the multiverse. While Thor's fights in the past have incidentally shattered planets, Odin's battle was shattering galaxies and reigniting stars. Odin eventually prevailed, banishing Seth to another dimension, but not before destroying several galaxies and risking the multiverse itself. There are many other examples of how powerful the One-Eyed All-Father is, but I hope I've given enough reasons for why Odin is the king of the gods.
Where is Thor? Where is my son? I summon Mjolnir's wielder to Asgard! If you have harmed my son, you will pay with your life.
Well, that's all for this episode of Thor Talk. If you want to keep up with and support Thor Talk, simply subscribe. Once again, I'd like to formally state that all art and video is owned by its respective companies, and I own none of it. With that said, see you next time on Thor Talk, where...